I've heard things about. Apparently, JoJo's is very, very good according to a lot of people, but I've never actually sat down and watched it. And oh god, okay. Right, on the principle of I don't have time, let's go and find a taxi. I'm a giant JoJo fan. Fair enough. You see, for me, it's a lot. It comes down to time. I mean, one of the reasons I stream, apart from the fact that I get to meet so many brilliant people, such as you, my dear samurai, is I was really bad. I fall very easily into the trap of just binge watching YouTube. So I've got a backlog of games a mile long that I never seem to play. So streaming is literally me setting aside 2 to 3 hours. Okay, no, hold on. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 to 15 hours a week where I can sit down and I just focus on gaming. Which, in fairness, once I start gaming, I absolutely adore it. I sit here and well, you've seen me gaming. Hopefully my passion for playing games gets across to you, because it's one of my great passions. But yeah, that was one of the things. But I mean, I train... hold on. 1 hour, 2 hour, 3, about 4 hours of karate a week. Then there's also me practicing my instruments of the alto sax and the clarinet. And yeah, so I do a lot in my spare time. Maybe that's why I'm single. I just don't actually have time to date anyone. But either which way, there's a lot of time that I spend a lot of time doing a bunch of extracurricular bits and pieces. And of course, I have to go to work. So, what was the point I was trying to make? Oh yeah, I don't have time to watch a lot of that. I try to watch it. I stick it in the back. The one beauty of being an IT technician with his own office, well, I share an office, but because I'm an IT tech, I can just stick an anime on my second monitor and I'll just let that play in the background as I install umpteen amounts of software in one of the computer labs remotely, which is quite nice. Or, before I got my remote software fixed, because licensing, I won't bore you with the details, I have an iPad. The only Apple product I will buy. I love my iPad's brilliant. I use it for my music and I use it for drawing and stuff. But I also, when I was in the labs, I basically stuck an episode of One Piece on with Bluetooth earbuds, and I just stuck it at the end of the bench, and I just worked on all of the computers as episodes of One Piece were playing. So I basically got through Usopp's arc. What was the name of Usopp's village? Can't remember. Either way, I got through Usopp's arc with the Black Cat pilots, and I got through pretty much the Arlong arc, literally by just sticking my... Oh no, I tell a lie. I got through Usopp's arc, Sanji's arc on the Baratier and with Zeph, and a good chunk of the Arlong Pirates arc, all while I was working in the labs over the summer, just installing software on the computers. I'm still in East Blue. Don't worry, so am I. I'm only coming up to Rogue Town. Rogue Town. No, Rogue. It is Rogue Town. I'm not far off Rogue Town. Once upon a time, I did watch One Piece all the way up to Waters 7, and then I dropped off. I also watched a third chunk of Thriller Bark, just because Frankie interested me, and I wanted to see what the Thousand Sunny was like. And then I sort of fell off, and next thing I know, then all hell's broken loose, and Luffy's going off to Luffy's stuck in a prison, and then that got me interested. And then I went through prison and a chunk. I read through the tail end of the Impel Down arc, and then I read the War of Marineford, and then there was the 2-year time skip, and then I dropped off. Actually, I dropped off just after the end of the Marineford, but whatever. So one day, admittedly, there's 1,000 episodes to get through now, but one day I want to try and catch up to all of the One Piece episodes, but I'm doing it by DVD volume, just to make my life a bit easier. So as I start to reach the end of the DVD episode, the episodes I've uploaded into the Plex server, then I stop and I move on. I'm sorry, I should be probably playing the game at this point. So as I reach the end of the episodes in the DVD the episodes I've uploaded to my Plex server, then I'll buy the next set of DVDs and add them to the server, and then I'll watch through them, and then that's how I'll do it. I need to go down here. Yes. Well, you know, if you have any JoJo questions, or if you want to start, you can ask. Fair enough, I was going to start at the beginning. To be honest, Berserk as well. Not the anime, I don't think there's an anime of Berserk, but the manga has got... There's a collector's edition, a very nice collector's edition of the Berserk manga in my local Waterstones. So I'm kind of tempted to buy the first one of that. It's a bit expensive though, so I'm going to have to save up. I mean, I'm also saving up for a couple of new waistcoats. Not that I ever wear a waistcoat on stream, but I do in my day-to-day life wear waistcoats because secretly I'm a Victorian gentleman. Either that or I just really like waistcoats. They're useful. They keep me warm, and they have pockets which I can keep a watch and tools in. Or keys. Keys are very useful in my job.
おじさんおじさんあれ見てさくらだよ
はるかの知り合いか
違うよ福永さくら女優さんだよ有名な
No, is she? Never heard of her.
じゃあ社長
She's kind of pretty though.
よろしくね
Pretty sure the her's a dye job. And in some way she reminds me of a member of our community. I won't say who. I kind of half expected to suddenly jump up and scream at me. Did you forget 5 minutes of Majima? I did 5 minutes of Majima. The timer ran out. Waistcoats just remind me of school. You wore a waistcoat at school? I mean, fair enough. I never did. I mean, when I was at school, our uniform was a pair of black trousers, a white dress. Well, for the boys. Black trousers, white dress shirt, a jacket, and a tie. I never did my top button up because I don't really like doing my top collar up. I'll do it up for a funeral, I suppose, but for the most part, I don't do my top collar up. But yeah, that was our outfit, our school uniform. And yeah, for me now, it is literally black trousers, white dress shirt, a pair of braces, a waistcoat, and a jacket. But I like wearing a suit. I feel most comfortable. I blame Doctor Who. I blame David Tennant's tenure as the Doctor. Because he always wore a suit, and he looked awesome in it. And I went, you know what, I'll wear that. And then I started playing Yakuza, and lo and behold, you've got Kiryu, who's dressed in a grey suit, and he has his top two buttons undone, and I went, you know what? Kiryu's bloody cool. I'm going to dress like that. Admittedly, the Indiana Jones fedora is Indiana Jones, but at the same time, I like wearing a hat. I can tip it over my eyes, and it protects my head from the weather, and it's... Is it the coolest thing to wear? No. Is it probably going to win me many points with the ladies? No. But at the same time, it's what I want to wear. I could go around in a pair of jeans and a polo shirt and a hoodie and everybody else. And you know what? I don't feel like it because I prefer to just... I like my fashion. Not fashion, I suppose, but I like the way I dress. Is the way what I'm trying to get to. So yeah. I guess I didn't see it. Is my voice so similar to Majima that it sounds the same? I mean, I'll honestly take it as a compliment, Violet, that you think that this voice is the same as my normal speaking voice, but still... Really? Oh, well, unless you honestly thought that we were going to suddenly switch to playing Majima for 5 minutes, in which case I'm afraid to say, you really should have read the Redeem, my dear. Anyway, oh no, the sixth form boys were allowed to wear waistcoats as part of their uniforms. It was always the only opportunity they had for individualism, so they went for it. Fair enough. I mean, when I was in school, I suppose we didn't get waistcoats, but the closest we got was turtleneck jumpers, I suppose. I got a couple of them, never wore them though. But yeah, no, I mean, I could have worn a waistcoat. I mean, I was bullied a fair whack in school in the early years of school anyway, so I probably wouldn't have gone for that. I mean, I also wore my tie differently. I mean, this gentleman on the screen, but up there, right? He's currently wearing his tie in a Windsor knot. British Army standard. That's how I was taught. My dad taught me how to tie a knot. Most people do the Oxford knot, which is easier. You basically get the tie and you wrap it around a bunch and then straight down. The Windsor knot's a bit more complicated. The thing is, you had SWAT knotting when I was in school, where you basically walked up to someone and yanked on their tie, and then it tightened the knot and you couldn't get the tie undone. It looked ridiculous and it was sort of stuck. The thing about the Windsor knot, however, is that it's supposed to be a tight-fitting knot. So you pulled it tight, and it was just, that's it. It's just tighter than it probably should be, but you can just easily loosen it. So that was my one immunity from the bullies. The me getting blasted into a wall was probably not as much of an immunity, but either which way, it got better in the end. It got better in the end, and then I went to college, and then it was worse. But then I went to university, and it got better, and it's got better since. So, long story short, there's always a bright side at the end of the tunnel. As people mature, they tend to learn how society actually works, and that different people do like different things. I mean, I like Yakuza. Somebody can turn around to me and say, I hate Yakuza, it is a stupid game. And you know what? I go, well, that's your opinion, mate. You stand by it. Me, personally, I bloody love this franchise. I mean, that's a very broad strokes approach, but either which way.
Nani?
Mentioning interesting waistcoats, I did find a UK retailer of interesting waistcoats. I could get a Union Jacket waistcoat. There was also the steampunk waistcoat, which I freely admit had a very nice design, but the problem is that the collar was sort of... so how do I describe it? The collar was sort of like that. So you had like this bit at the back, and then like a normal collar sort of flicked down. It looked bloody ridiculous, so I won't go with that. But also, it was expensive. So yeah, I'm probably not going to go for that. But, you know, I like my waistcoats. Maybe I'm part Hobbit. Kids are notoriously cruel. Kids are notoriously cruel. Kids also don't know better, for the most part. They need to learn. Well, the ones who are taught properly tend to figure it out faster, but yeah, kids are just notoriously cruel. Notoriously cruel. I mean, there's a thing around schools where kids are bullied because the Fortnite characters don't have a paid-for skin, and it's just... how shallow. It's just... oh no! You haven't spent money to a multi-million-pound company to buy a skin for a fictional character in a video game. Oh, you really are... I can't stand it. But then again, I was on the receiving end for years, so... but still, it's just... Kids are cruel. That's one of the great truths of the universe, is that kids are just cruel. Grown-ups can be cruel as well, but most grown-ups tend to have a sense of just understanding, empathy, that's the word I think I'm looking for. Oh, right, hold on, right. I've just realised I've still got the Bang 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 equipped. Let's switch to that. There we go. I mean, adults aren't much better considering the amount of knife crime, at least here in the UK. Obviously, different countries have different issues. Yeah, I'm glad I did school before the era of social media. You know what? I'm glad I did as well. I think MySpace was a thing when I was in school. Facebook was sort of coming up through the ranks. It might have been just before Facebook that I left school. It might have been college, actually, that Facebook started to take precedence. But yeah, I'm glad I grew up without social media. The most we had was MSN Messenger. Oh, blimey, that takes me back. And even then, that was a particularly unpleasant time. But yeah, now it's just... I feel sorry for most kids growing up these days. There's a lot more crap going on than there ever was when I was growing up. You know what? As much as I tend to loathe the usage of the term as it is, I'm speaking modern Twitter here. But with this little stream, I can provide a sort of safe space sort of thing from all of that. Brilliant. I know that terminology is being twisted and warped by a lot of different factions all over social media, but I mean it in the literal sense of hopefully this is some just pure escapism for me. I mean, good lord, we need some escapism now. So much. I have to pick my words carefully here, because it could easily be twisted into the wrong way. so many things now can be sort of polarized into various different areas of politics, and everything has to have a message, and it's just, if I can just have produce something with a bit of silly fun as we laugh at this goofy video game of a organized crime boss running around getting into trouble with old ladies and assaulted by bicycles, then there we go. I'm probably talking nonsense at this point, but you know what, I don't really care. Now we're going to beat up some goons with a bicycle. Ooh. Well, that bench is never going to be the same again. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, this dude has now called us all the way back over there. Go on, Bennett. You know what? While we're at it, I mean, we've already unlocked all of the coin lockers. We don't need to do this, but at the same time, I mean, we might as well. Okay, what did I just... Oh, no. What did I just throw into the bloody abyss? Oh, we got rid of our sacred armor. Right, we're not going to stand by that. Right, there's a convenience store around the corner. We're going to go and get our sacred armor back, because that's a very useful piece of equipment. Oh no! He needs the elusive Model 12! Whatever will we do? Completely ignore him is the answer. There we go. Problem solved. You know what? It has dawned finally on me that we are not going to finish this game by the end of the stream. Actually, technically, we are over 45 minutes over the end of the stream. And you know what? We are not even close to the end. We're only on chapter 13. We've still got 3 chapters to go and a good few hours. So, you know what? I think what we will do here is we will save. I will try and get a full night's sleep, though. No, might still be possible now. First we will save. Then we will save again, just to make sure. I still can't believe it, by the way. On top of all of us maxing out all the stats and all the completion list, though we can't see it in this particular save because, you know, we're in a different save. 999 999 999 9999 9999. We have done all of the big XP. It's just, God damn it. We are overpowered above and beyond. But anyway, I'm afraid, overpowered or not, we will have to continue this next time. Admittedly, I did waste a bunch of time doing random things that I didn't need to do. That game of Mahjong and the karaoke, we certainly didn't need to do. But it's all part of the fun and games. I mean, we're in no rush to finish this game. But yes, we will have Deathloop in the future at some point. It will probably be next week now. It'll be next Tuesday that we finally get into Deathloop. Everything's set up in the back end for it. I just need to I'll finish Yakuza Kiwami 2 and do our thoughts video. We can't forget about them. By the way, if you ever want to see my thoughts on any of the games we've ever played on the channel, the thoughts videos do exist in the YouTube archive. You can also find them in the various commands in chat. For example, off the top of my head, Metro? Okay, maybe that isn't a command. Go on, Bennett. Now, hold on. No holds barred? Ooh. No holds barred. Huh, okay, apparently not. AH. Kingdom Hearts. Well, you can find them in the YouTube archive if nothing else. Okay, I need to look at the bot commands. I don't know why I don't have any of those actually working, but maybe I've just overthought it. But yeah, we've got 4 videos of every journey we've ever been on, which I will do at the end of this game as well. Also, what's that, Palomino? This is not the end. It is not even the beginning of the end, but it is perhaps the end of the beginning. Perhaps you're right. Perhaps you are right, good sir. But either which way, there we have it. We are at not the end of this game, but we are certainly getting very close. I honestly did not think that we would be running this long with the Legend playthrough. It's not even particularly arduous. I just we would have been done if I didn't insist on watching the cutscenes again. But also, we would have been done if I didn't insist on prattling around like a dingus. But you know what? Either which way, I'm having fun, and hopefully you are as well. Anyway, with that said, if you're new here, hi, I'm Ezio. It's a pleasure to meet you. If you enjoyed what you saw, well, I'd really appreciate it. Hit that follow button. But the decision will always be yours. If you ever want to catch me live, well, I tend to stream here on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock UK time, and every Saturday at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock UK time. Though, that said, possible changes in the future to that schedule, I don't know. I'm still figuring a few things out. But this Thursday there is no stream. I'm unfortunately in work that evening covering a function, and there is no stream on the Saturday afternoon either because I'm once again in work covering a function, an open day, to be honest. So yes, there's that. So we will continue this journey on this Saturday at 7 o'clock UK time. Hopefully you'll be there for that, but if you're not, no worries. Because soon, my friends, we are going to be beginning even our run into the world. Deathloop, a game I have been looking forward to for a while. So hopefully it holds up to my expectations, but we'll see when we get to that particular journey. Anyway, with that said, if you're... wait, no, I've already said that bit. If you ever missed any of these streams, if you want to catch any of our run through the world of Yakuza Kiwami 2 so far, you can find all of these streams uploaded to the VOD section of this very channel, as well as a link to YouTube archives in the panels down below containing playlists of every game, every journey as I call them, that we have ever been on this channel. We are in the midst of our Yakuza franchise, my friend, franchise run, even my friends, and it is going to continue at a pace, I assure you. Well, I say a pace, a very slow, Ezio-esque pace. We will be doing this for years, I suspect. But anyway, yes, you can find all of these uploaded to the VOD section of this very channel, as well as a link to YouTube archives in the panels down below, containing playlists of every game, every journey as I call them, that we've ever been on this channel. And yes, I did just say the same thing twice. And with that, clearly I am tired, and therefore, I think all that's left to say is a thank you to each and every one of you. Be you a chatter, be you a lurker, be you watching live here on Twitch or in the YouTube archives, thank you very much for joining me this evening. Thank you for joining me as we have journeyed through the world of this amazing game. And most of all, thank you for spending a little bit of your life here with me on the channel. It means the world. It always will do. And it always does. Now, do we have enough to pay the good vibes forwards? I suppose we do, but is there anyone live on the raid list? I do believe I saw a notification for the mighty Kev of Last Minute Continue, and he is live with a rousing game of Raft, and so we shall go and raid this fine gentleman. And that, the raid is set. We shall take our rest. And until the next time, may you all have a beautiful evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever it is around this whole wide world you are. And as always, until our paths next cross again, the Vortex awaits. And I'll see you all next time. That's the wrong button. There we go.